Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Calm and Chaos Live with me, Christian Rauchenwald, on this, not so bad Monday afternoon. I hope you all had a great weekend and a great start into the new week. As you may have noticed, background changed a little, so we're still in the progress of setting up the recording space, studio and office and so on, but we're making progress. Anyway, Calm and Chaos Live, your chance to get answers to all the questions you might have, as well as to see what other people are asking. Use your chance. If you have any questions about the projects that I covered in the past or anything else you would like to discuss, feel free to ask them in the chat. Gabby is here as our loved moderator, and we'll make sure that the chat doesn't end up in chaos. And outside of that, before we jump into things, as always, let's get the usual disclaimer out of the way first. Everything that I share in this live stream / video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. Now, additional reminder, obviously don't forget, like, subscribe, enable notifications. The chat is set to subscribers only. You have to be a subscriber to the channel for 1 day before you can, in quotes, bother me with whatever questions you have. This is also to ensure that random bot accounts don't show up and spam the chat with whatever crappy promotions they are pushing right now. Anyway, with that, we can jump directly, or actually before we jump directly into the screen and jump into the crypto project, quick question to everyone that's watching right now and that can share. No, wait, sorry, I got distracted. There was something popping up on my other screen. Quick question for all of you. Who among you is actually into smart home stuff? So automating your smart home. Let me know in the chat. I would actually be curious. Or actually, I might be able to launch a poll. Yeah, so we never do that. So start a poll. Smart home, question mark, yes or no. Yeah, so there's the submit button. Yeah. Poll created. No, that was creating another option. I don't want to create another option. There, start poll. Now, how do I get rid of the option? Remove here. Okay, start poll. There we go. Let me know. I'm really curious who among you, what percentage of people actually enjoys smart home stuff? Yeah. Hi, Marko Miklic. Great to have you here. So I'm a huge smart home enthusiast, and today I got a box of Shelly 2 PM Plus relays that I'm gonna play around with in the future. So curious for your answers. And with that, we'll jump actually into the stuff you got here for, and that is like checking out what we have news on the crypto space, what questions people are asking, and what the answers to that are. As always, we're using Agora Pulse. Irina obviously says her husband is into the crypto stuff. That would be me. There seems to be, I don't know, like today my whole layout was broken, or I mean, not the layout, but the OBS interface. 1 second, I'll double checking here. No, that should be big enough. 1 second, it seems. Is it just because it's such a short message? Chat highlight. Yeah, so just because it's just such a short message. So back here, disable studio mode. There we go. Many of those questions are probably repetitions because that's why they are frequently asked questions, because I get them repeatedly on the streams. First one is, can we remove the lockup in Pi Network? No, you can't, because the simple answer is it would not be a lockup if you could just end it. Yeah, like, I mean, what would be the point if you say, oh, I want to lock up my coins and I get a bonus for it of whatever percentage, and that's a mining rate boost. It's not an interest on your amount. That's something very, very important to understand. And you then 3 weeks later, you get your bonus all the time, and then you say, oh no, I actually don't want to lock it up that long. I want to end it. So that's just not how it works. Yeah. And is it most you should verify your wallet? But is it most? I'm not sure I understand the question, so I'm sorry I cannot answer that. But I think you're asking if you have to verify your wallet, and the only thing you have to do, I forgot to set up the screen sharing for the phone. 1 second, let's fire up, let's view, and then boom, boom, boom. Yeah, as you can see, I'm full of energy right now. Screen goes dark for a second. Sorry if you couldn't see anything for a moment. So Maybe it still was up there. Go over there. Let's view broadcast. Hello, broadcast, come on. There we go, there we go. And that should technically work unless something else changed today with my OBS setup. So if I press that magic button, then you guys see my iPhone screen. Yes, 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 yes. And if we go to Pi Network, so the only thing that you have to do with Pi Network as in regards to your wallet is go to the main menu and then go to mainnet and then go to mainnet checklist and work your way through those points. Make sure all 8 points are green and the last point will turn green when you get your first coins migrated, yeah? And the only place where you verify or confirm your wallet is step number 3, and then step number 6 when you sign the acknowledgement about receiving tokens, yeah? So if anybody tells you for whatever reason you have to visit the website and there verify your wallet or so, it's not just 99%, it's 100% a scam. The website will then ask you for your passphrase, and the moment you enter it, it will clean out your wallet. Yeah, so you will have lost access to, or I mean, you still have access to your wallet and you can watch how your coins disappear. Yeah, so keep that in mind. That's very, very important. In general, literally every episode today, I will not go into too much detail. You can check out Friday's episode or any one of the past 2 weeks episodes. But in general, I just will say this: never ever share your passphrase with anyone. Yeah, so that's the most crucial thing. Your passphrase is like giving away your online banking username, password, and then the transaction codes to confirm the transactions. Yeah. You're literally giving away the keys to the castle if you share your passphrase with anyone. Yeah? If you want to know what you can do if you shared your passphrase, if you forgot it, if you got scammed and so on, take a look at one second, all video, or all my videos actually, my videos about Pi Network, which is technically not true because Irina also published a few of those, so I think at least KYZ wise. Jumping back to the main screen. So in that playlist, you'll find towards the bottom, where was it? What to do if you lost your passphrase so you cannot remember it, what to do if you got scammed, so if somebody else knows your passphrase, so just check usually, so there you find more details, and moving on. What happened to Bitcoin Black? Does the wallet still work? Is the project still active? Oh no, that one was very short-lived. So there I joined, or I discovered it very, very late. Then I didn't find the latest updates that I probably should have found already. And then the whole thing already basically just was only delays, and nothing happened anymore, unfortunately. So that's a little bit of a, bummer. I mean, it always sucks. So let's switch here for a bit so you can enjoy me in full glory. It always sucks when we have a project or we find a project that I mean, every project claims we're the best, we're the first, we're the greatest, whatever. Doesn't matter if they were really the first, if they're doing it the best, or if they have the greatest idea or not. There are obviously a lot of projects, I mean, nowadays less, but still a few that allow users to, or that claim to allow users to receive crypto by just whatever, pushing a button once per day or doing anything else once per day, every couple of hours or so, And by definition, it's a very, very challenging approach to give something value that people get for free, So it's really hard. So if you think about a very, very simple principle, price is basically determined by supply and demand, If everybody can get a lot of something for free, so if you could mine Bitcoin on your phone and you would get 100 Bitcoin per day, well, then one Bitcoin would not be worth $100,000. It just wouldn't work that way, because if you can just use your phone, push a button, and then in a day you have 100 Bitcoin, well, then it doesn't have a value, because there would be a huge supply, And so whenever an app like Pi Network, B Network, Alpha Network, SquareX Play, TimeStope, Bondex, Bitcoin Black, and so on shows up, it's always tricky, because they always have supply. So they give you something, or they claim to give you something, but the challenging part is the creating demand, And from all the projects that we covered over the years, the one project that actually put a lot of effort into considering demand is Pi Network, because they actually made it originally one of the requirements, okay, there have to be 100 mainnet ready apps for Pi to transition into the open mainnet. Yeah. And obviously, we were in December at 80 mainnet ready apps, and the team decided, okay, that's enough. We don't need to reach the full 100. And there's no guarantee that those 80 are actually going to create enough demands. But while most projects just focus on the supply side and getting users to push a button and so on, we always have to consider the demand side as well. Yeah? So Pi Network, for example, if there would be one app that for some reason becomes really, really popular, and then people that don't use Pi Network, there, I mean, after all, more than 8 billion people on the planet, and there's only a very small fraction of that. So like there are 8 billion people on the planet that don't have a Pi account or use Pi Network yet. Yeah. So if there would be a single app that somehow is relevant for a small percentage of the global population, but it requires you to have a Pi account, and whatever you can do in the app as far as like transactions go or stuff like that, you have to pay it with Pi. Well, suddenly you would have also a huge demand created. Yeah. So I'm saying this because by definition, a lot of the projects that promise you can get this and you can get that and so on, especially when it's about creating new cryptocurrencies, will fail because they fail to create the necessary demand. Yeah? Great example, although not fully failed, have to clarify that, but just to drive home one point would be if we look at the Alpha Network exchange. So Alpha Network is also one of the apps where you can push a button once per day and you earn Alpha coin, which originally should have had a limited supply of 500 million, and now it's a fluid supply, and so it's like a long story. But they launched their exchange, and the exchange works. So you can post your coins for sale and say, I want to sell them. Yeah. And if they are buyers, they actually slowly get sold. And initially, the first 2 or 3 weeks or maybe month, it actually was possible to sell a decent amount in quotes and cash out a few dollars. Yeah. But if you look at the lifetime statistics, you can see there is 163,000 sell orders and only 1,300 buy orders. So there's more than 100 times more people that are trying to sell than they or were. So not sure. I don't think they are processed sell orders. I think that's like the total number, even pending orders. So, but you see that here supply and demand is the issue. If you can still list your coins for sale, but if you now list them for sale, they might sell, but it might take a year or two before there are a few more buy orders to actually buy up your Alpha coin. Yeah. So supply and demand, crucial point. And to finish this whole point, as a result, a lot of those projects fail. Yeah. It's inevitable. It's just simply the result because there is no investment required. There is no, expensive mining resources or hardware required. And many of those projects fail to create or consider how there will be demand for their cryptocurrency. Yeah? And this is always frustrating, but it does not really matter because, in my opinion, if we look at 10 or 20 so-called one-click-a-day apps, so apps where you push a button once per day or something, perform a similar action that doesn't cost you money and doesn't cost you half an hour of your time per day or so, yeah. If we have 10, 20, or even 100 such apps, 100 might maybe take a little bit, but for example, I'm daily pressing the button, I think in 6 or 7 apps at the moment. So Pi Network, Alpha Network, Bondex, Upland, B Network, and Star Network. Not all of them are super promising still, but the point is it takes me like 30 seconds, maximum a minute every day to push those buttons, which means I don't really lose anything. I can do it. I have a reminder usually when the 24 hours are over, so I don't miss too much time between the sessions. But I can usually do it while I'm, waiting for, a download to finish, waiting for something else. So it really is not interrupting my day, which means I don't really consider it any kind of actual effort other than not forgetting to do it. And so if from all those apps, so no matter if you use 5 apps, 10 apps, 20 apps like that, if a single one succeeds, just a single project, so if Pi Network with their approach of having mainnet ready apps, that actually should create the demand side for the coin. Yeah, if that works out, just a single one, it already will be more than worth it. Yeah, sure. There are people out there that believe, especially with Pi Network, that it will be worth 314,000 per coin, which is completely ludicrous and delusional. Yeah. So I'm not saying by worth it, it means that you will be the next, I don't know, Elon Musk, or that you will be able to buy yourself a Lamborghini, at least definitely not in early days or so, yeah. But my point is that considering the, in quotes, little effort, that you will get something out of it, yeah. You can obviously then, if you believe the project will grow in the future, then you should not sell or spend your coins when you can start selling them, because then if the project will grow in the future, then obviously the value should increase. If you believe the project has no future, so like with back then with Alpha Network when they launched the exchange, but there was no way to create demand, or they didn't think of a way to create demand, then it's clear, in quotes, that many people will just try to sell, which means the price should plummet, which means you should also get out the moment you can and be happy no matter if you get $1 or $100 out of it, because it's money that you got for pushing a button, yeah. And yeah, but so, that ties back into the comment that we had here. I know it was a very long answer now to that comment, but to Bitcoin Black. So Bitcoin Black is basically one of those projects that maybe I actually, from what I recall about the research I did back then, had a decent idea and then just somehow stopped making progress, just published updates why there are delays, and then eventually, as far as I recall, the developers actually said they moved on to other things, yeah. With Bitcoin Black, it's a little trickier because they also, as far as I recall, had a portion or a way for like kind of like not an IPO or ICO, so but the way to basically pre-buy tokens or coins, or Bitcoin Black in that case. And so some people probably lost money on that project, and I feel sorry for those people. But keep in mind, whenever I share a project with you, especially if it's something like Pi Network or so, I always point out that you shouldn't, yeah. Like, you can get the stuff for free, so don't throw your savings into it, yeah. And so I never told anyone in my video, I never told anyone to buy Bitcoin Black or invest in it, but simply to you that the app can be used, and if the project succeeds, we would have something. Well, that's one of the failed projects, unfortunately, but yeah. That's a different topic, yeah. So what's the most common winning investment strategy for a new beginner, yeah? The most common winning investment strategy for a beginner is, and there we're talking investment, is basically buy and hold, yeah. Like, buy big corporations or stock of big corporations and hold, yeah. So, and then think about, for example, if you invest in companies like Coca-Cola, or what's that called, P&G, what's that, Procter and Gamble or so, yeah, that basically sell everyday goods, so whatever, like food, drinks, cleaning supplies, hygienic products, and so on. So products that people also have to buy when money is tight. Those companies are not going away. Obviously, tech stock and so on, yeah, there's periods when it comes to tech, like now or up till 2020, not 2020, up to the 2000s, where tech or IT stocks are booming like crazy. But fact of the matter is, when money is tight, you can live without an iPhone. You can live without the biggest OLED screen. You can live without your Xbox, yeah. But you cannot live without food. You still need toilet paper. You still need, I don't know, like, so cleaning supplies and this and that. So yeah, it's not exciting. It takes time. But and here we're at a point where I have to admit, it's like, do what I say, not what I do, because for me that would be too boring. But since you're asking about investment, that's pretty much it. Yeah, there was actually a study, maybe by Wells Fargo or by some other big US bank, that looked into the clients' portfolios and which one performed the best. And the best performing portfolios, maybe I'll find it. Yeah, best performing portfolios, deceased or abandoned. Yeah, Fidelity. Yeah. So blah 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 had done the best. Yeah. So And that means buy and hold. So the best performing portfolios, I mean, you can look that up. You can also use Google and then look into the details. But the best performing portfolios were those of dead people, which means they did not sell at any point. They just hold, the portfolio just had the positions and it just kept growing without panic selling or trying to catch the top and then buy or sell at the top and buy at the bottom. So yeah, that should tell you already a lot about investing. Yeah. Now, if you're trading, however, things are different. There, personally, I'm using, Gabby might be able to share the link already. I'm using the Elliott Wave principle. So that's the strategy I'm personally following for trading. It served me very well. It seems on first glance relatively simple, but it actually supports a lot of complexity. Yeah. Or it can be relatively complex, or the patterns can be relatively complex. But it served me very well to, like since I started investing again or trading again in, I think it was either 2020 or 21. So after the COVID crash, yeah. And last year, I have to admit, I actually made a loss, but that's a different story. Yeah. So there I kind of like gambled a little bit with 20 times leverage, which I shouldn't have. But outside of that, so I think 21 or so was the COVID crash. I'll have to check 1 second on other screen. So people, I think it works like that. Yeah. Not sure if I'll able. So yeah, 2020. So 2020, I achieved 29.8%, and I started trading in May. 2021, 34.78%. 2022, 45.43%. 2023, we have 25 now or not? Yeah. 23 was actually a losing year for me. Correct that. Didn't I 23 still end up with a profit, or I don't remember? Huh? No, but that's just the one portfolio. Last year I traded end of 23, end of 23 into early 24. Yeah. So no, 23 was actually a profitable year because they were my main portfolio. So I'm going to drag this over. That was back then my main account. And while this account shows minus 35%, my second account, what was that? RC High Risk Invest, I think. No. Let's see if I can find it in the search. ISC Invest High Risk then. Yep, that one. Yeah. So while my main account, as you can see, my main account in 23 made minus 35%. I actually made more than 100% in my secondary account. They both roughly had the same size, so overall profitable. But 24 ended up with a loss because I said, so from this period here and also the big gains here actually, so August 23 moving forward, I actually traded with insane leverage and that eventually bit me in the ass. Overall, however, so if we just look at 23, 24, 24 was a losing year. If I, however, look at August, where I started with the high leverage trading, to May, where I then decided, okay, that's just too stressful and long-term risky. I actually, I don't recall, was it 4,000 profit, or I think it was a very small profit in the end. Yeah. So, but technically I said my 23 is still profitable. If I calculate all portfolios, 24, however, was my first losing year. And again, it's because of this. Then in May, I switched to Interactive Broker and stopped trading with high leverage. And in Interactive Broker from 15th of May, when I switched, till December, I actually achieved 107% or so, yeah. And as I said, I'm using Elliott Wave principle or the Elliott Wave theory for my trading, and you can read the book online for free. Gabby either didn't hear me or doesn't have the link. 1 second, I will dig it up for you guys in a second. So you can read the book online for free. So that's kind of nice in my opinion. Just have to got typos YouTube. That should be that. So that's 1 second. So and then here Might be faster than you. Let's see. So that's the link, yeah. So you can read the book about Elliott Wave Principle online for free if you're curious, and yeah, or get yourself a physical copy like I did. But yeah, like, so that's the strategy I'm following. It served me well. Sometimes I got greedy and it bit me in the ass. So when I then used like higher leverage than I should and so on, yeah. But that I think more than addresses the what's the most common winning investment strategy for a new beginner. So that would be buy and hold. But if you want to trade, then I would recommend Elliott Wave Theory or the Elliott Wave Principle. Yeah, there are people out there that will tell you it's like complete nonsense or so. But you can also check out, I have my trading YouTube channel. So I'm gonna grab that one as well. So that would be this one. Yeah, so that's the trading YouTube channel. And they're on live also Monday to Friday, actually half an hour after this stream. So at like 30 minutes from now, I'll go live there and share my portfolio and what I changed there and my forecasts for the assets that I'm monitoring. Yeah. Anyway, after a sip of coffee, we'll move on to the next comment. Yeah, I want to ask if it's necessary to do validated on your Pi mainnet before someone can sell it Pi. I mean, I understand that English is not the native tongue for most people, so it's also not for me. So, but it's also hard. I would honestly recommend Agora Pulse has a translate feature built in for me. So, or not for me, but for all of the users. But besides that, I would recommend please use Google Translate if your English is really not that great, because if I don't understand the question, I hardly can answer it. Yeah. So we covered it earlier, what you have to do with your Pi wallet. And as for selling Pi, we need to be on the open mainnet. You need to then have a way to sell it. And yeah, like right now, the only way for you to have Pi coins is actually if you complete the mainnet checklist, which includes KYZ. And getting coins migrated. That's the only way for you to have Pi in the first place that you could then sell. But as I mentioned earlier, if there is some third-party website that asks, or some guy tells you, you have to confirm or validate your wallet on this and that website, that's just scams. Yeah? There's people that are trying to get you to expose your passphrase so they can clean out your entire wallet. Is it possible to move my Pi to my new wallets? Yeah, yes and no. Yeah, technically you can. Let's switch again to the iPhone, I guess. iPhone, and then switch there to Pi browser. And then I'm gonna unlock my wallet. So technically you can transfer your coins because you already have the pay request function. And you can then say, I don't have contacts, yeah, but you would manually add a wallet address and how much you want to send. Now, I don't have any Pi in the wallet, so I cannot really send anything right now, yeah. So you would put your new wallet address here, yeah. That's the technical part, yeah. The restricting factor, however, is that right now wallets have to be activated, and that happens when you get the first coins migrated. So when you create a new wallet, because your old one was exposed, you forgot the passphrase, although then you couldn't transfer coins anyway from the old one, yeah. But when you create a new wallet, until you get the next migration into that wallet will not be activated, which means it will tell you address invalid when you try to send coins to that wallet, yeah. And that's why technically, or in theory, yes, transfers are possible because you can already send Pi to other people if they have an activated wallet, yeah, which happens when it gets the first coins migrated. But practically, if you create a new wallet right now, you cannot move your balance there because that new wallet isn't activated because it did not receive a migration yet. Yeah, it's a big issue, or yeah, like a big aspect to consider. I don't know how it will be in the future, to be honest. Yeah, so if with the open mainnet, when you create a new wallet, it will work instantly or so, or if the team will create a mechanism for you to basically, since your account is already KYZ verified, to basically just say, I also want to activate or verify this wallet. I don't know how it will be solved in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so well, the short answer is no, you cannot move Pi to your new wallet because your new wallet would not be activated. Yeah. Hello, Akashi. Great to have you here. Yeah. So You're very late to the party. Actually, you come to the end. And yeah, we're going to end here. Thank you, M. Abusat, for finding this video useful and clear. Yeah, that's it for today. Sorry me late. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah. So yeah, if you have further questions or there are other things you would like to know, don't forget, I mean, Comment Chaos Live, pretty much every day, Monday to Friday, your chance to ask and discuss those topics with me. Outside of that, one thing I want to take away, next week, we're probably going to have a different schedule because as I mentioned, in 25 minutes, I have my trading stream, and I noticed that with this live stream before it, I am just not focused enough to deal with the charts and all that stuff. So we're probably gonna switch things around and move this stream a little bit further back. But if you're subscribed and or on our Discord community, then you anyway get the notifications when the streams happen. And then hopefully it still fits into your schedule so you can stop by and chat a little bit with me. With that, I'm going to say thank you all for stopping by. I hope you were able to take something positive away from today's stream. Wish you all a pleasant rest of the day, and then see you all in one of my other streams videos or in our Discord community. Till then, bye-bye.